Hey, what's up guys? My name is Sarah Lucy and I hope you enjoyed the video that I made for everyone to see. Highly recommend that you check it out. I talk a lot about how I was raised and my upbringing and all the troubles that I went through, all the problems I went through. This video is going to be about what I do today that was a result of my upbringing of living with my mother with bipolar disorder and all these different elements that were talked about in my previous video. I'm going to start with general things that impact my life generally speaking, and then more specific things. Let's get into that. Thing number one is I have treatment-resistant depression. So when I got to college, I thought I was doing great. I was making friends. My life was coming together, it seemed like. And then slowly my mood started to sort of plummet, and I did not know why. And I didn't really seek help for it until second semester of my first year in college. The therapist that I was seeing said that I had severe depression and severe anxiety, and I had no idea whatsoever. I have depression that is rooted a lot in my relationship with my mom, for sure. As a result of my depression, I feel inadequate quite often. I'm unmotivated quite often. I can't get out of bed, or can't clean my room or do the dishes or do laundry or any of those sorts of things. I just feel so unmotivated, so inadequate. Thing number two, I have severe anxiety because of my upbringing. I think that growing up in a very unstable, unpredictable household had a negative effect on my mental health for sure. And one way that it had a negative effect is in my anxiety. I am always on edge, always expecting something bad to happen, always just waiting for the shoe to drop. I have severe generalized anxiety. I have a lot of social anxiety. I just expect people to judge me. Thing number three, I have struggled a lot with self-esteem and self-worth, and recently in the past and further back, I have hated myself like I'm the worst person ever, and there's no reason, really. I think that growing up in a household where I got so much negative feedback from my mom, I got so much just hatred thrown at me a lot of the time, and still to this day with the text messages that I receive from my mom. I just have internalized it, and my mom is kind of running in my head 24/7, as she would if she was here. Thing number four, I isolate a lot. This is just like my way of being, like my natural state is isolating myself a lot. And I attribute that to being so isolated growing up. I learned to isolate so that no one can hurt me. I can't hurt anyone. I oftentimes think that I prefer to be alone. I get drained really quickly, and it's so funny, like every single time I'm in a social setting, someone, at least one person, will ask if I'm okay. And it's not like I'm crying in the corner or anything. I'm just, something in my face looks vacant, I guess. I can definitely see how that would be the case. I think unconsciously I suspect people, not even unconsciously, consciously I suspect people to be ill, to have ill intents. Okay, thing number five. This is really interesting. I project my family problems and the issues I have with my mom and the issues I had growing up onto my everyday life. A good example of me projecting my personal issues onto everyday life would be when I was going to visit back home. And I, of course, was going to visit my mom. I got so much anxiety I couldn't eat. My sleeping was probably really bad, but I definitely couldn't eat. I had no appetite. And my anxiety was just through the roof. And I started to think that I was so busy with all these chores and all these tasks and with my job and the things that they're asking me to do. I started to think I was so busy and that was the cause of my anxiety, when in reality it was because I was going to visit back home. But I was sort of projecting onto the world my anxiety about going back home. And I just felt like my life was so out of control. I felt like it was the worst it's ever been, and I wasn't even like busy really. I've been busy, and that wasn't it, Chief. That was not it. Reason number 6, and I touched on this earlier, or thing number 6. I am terrified that people will react like my mom. It's such an irrational fear because no one is like my mom, no one that I've met. I went to study abroad. I lived with a host family, and I had such a hard time getting used to living in a normal family. It was so bizarre to me. The family, it functioned totally fine. There was like no conflict, nothing to be afraid of ever, and that was crazy to me. That just blew my mind. I was like, what is this? This is what normal is? Like, but I was really shy and really quiet and I didn't do anything ever. I didn't go out or anything because I was afraid that one day they were just gonna get mad at me and act like my mom with the yelling and the screaming and the ridiculing. I was so sure that it would happen, that someone was gonna snap, and which even if that did happen, it's not like the end of the world, but it's kind of a trigger for me. I guess that would be like a sub thing is triggers. Certain things will trigger me to react as though I'm back home. If someone's jokingly mad, I'll still get a feeling in my stomach that's like, oh, I'm back home. And that's happened before. Thing number 7. Okay, I have a terrible natural sleep cycle. It's bad. Like, if I don't have work or school or like classes or like something, I'm going to automatically just stay up until 5 a.m. and wake up at 3 o'clock or something. When I go back home, my family is exactly like that. They will stay up till like 5 a.m., 6, 8 a.m., 10 a.m. They will stay up all night and sleep all day. To this day, if I am left to my own devices, I will, without a doubt, stay up till 5 a.m. every night and sleep through the day. And I'll feel crummy about it, but I'll still continue to do it, and I'll do nothing about it. But the good thing is that when I do have work and I do have classes, I can sleep on a normal sleep schedule just fine. And I mean, that's not to shade people who work at night. That's just to say that my lifestyle, my personal lifestyle, I need to be awake during the day. Thing number 8 is a big one. I cannot eat normal. I've been away from home for 3 years now, and I've learned to cook. I've learned to cook well, and I've learned to eat well and eat healthy, and I've taken like health classes and this and that. And when I was in France, I ate super healthy and I'd picked up healthy eating habits. Still to this day, it's like so hard to eat normal. And this is what I mean by that. 2 things. 1, I don't like vegetables very much. It was very hard for me to learn to eat vegetables because my mom hardly ever cooked us fresh food. And when it was like potato or like something from a can, like green beans. I don't have much of a taste for like adult foods. I like kid foods. I like mac and cheese and chicken nuggets and things like that. And if left to my own devices, I will probably eat mac and cheese and chicken nuggets every single day of my life. And that's basically what I did when I got to college. In the cafeteria, every single day for like my first 2 years at college, I would eat fries and spaghetti, like literally, or like fries and a hot dog, or like fries and chicken. Like, I did not eat anything else. I did not really eat anything fresh, and it's amazing I'm still alive because I did not eat well during college, but I ate a lot. So I probably got nutrients by the sheer volume of what I ate. The other aspect of it is I just don't eat enough. And my mom did not cook a lot or feed us a lot. I literally would eat once or twice a day, something from a can when I lived with my mom. And I was hungry so often growing up. And to this day, again, if left to my own devices, I will go hungry, I will lose weight, and I just don't have an appetite a lot of the time. And that's kind of a symptom of my depression or anxiety. It kind of depends. I could literally eat 3 meals a day and not keep it up because it's more food than I'm used to. Thing number 9, and this is kind of a lie, I am not a talker naturally. I'm, debatable, but generally speaking, in most occasions and in most places, I do not talk a lot. I am a very quiet person. And this is because growing up, I listened to my mom talk so much. I'm a listener. I listen to people, and a lot of people find that they can talk to me very easily and freely, and I will listen, and people end up giving a lot of information about themselves when you don't say anything, and that's really cool, right? I am talkative naturally, but the way I've been conditioned, that's like not something that you do. When I grew up, if you talked a lot, it was like you're not gonna get listened to, or you're gonna get judged and have to hear about how stupid you are for a very long time. Thing number 10 of things that I do today as a result of my childhood is I need noise to concentrate. I need noise. I need a constant loop of talking, ideally. If I'm doing my homework, I will put on a podcast, and I won't understand anything that they're talking about because I'm busy and I'm doing homework, but it helps me concentrate more than anything. Or I will call someone when I need to get work done, and I still talk to my mom today, and sometimes I'll call her when like I need to cook dinner or something because she will just talk nonstop. And it's not always negative things. My mom has a lot of things to talk about a lot of the time because she's very talkative. Fun fact, there's a radio going 24/7 in my mom's house. Her favorite thing to listen to is Coast to Coast AM. And then the second thing is Alex Jones, which is questionable content for sure. I used to need the television to be turned up to go to sleep, when I was younger. I sometimes nap on campus, and when I do, I go to places with a lot of people. And I know that's weird, but again, like, it's the noise, and there's something comforting about it that relaxes me and focuses my brain, and I don't know. It's super weird, but it's something really specific, oddly specific. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you in the next one.
Paper roses, perfect